The voice of the I Am is the mouthpiece through which the Ascended Master's instruction can reach the students quickly. That the most powerful work possible for America and the world may be done by the students to release the greatest light in the shortest time. It will also contain information as to where the accredited messengers, Mr. and Mrs. G. W. Ballard and son, Donald, are teaching the Ascended Master's instruction on the 1 a.m.
Information. The information given under the heading of Young America will be the Ascended Master's help to the young people for their protection and illumination, as they are the builders of the new civilization and are the channels through which the Ascended Masters will give their light for the use of the outer world in the Golden I Am Age.
This magazine is not an outlet for articles from the students, but is the outpouring of the help from the Ascended Masters, and has no human concepts in it.
1 a.m. Reading Room, 1711 M Street.
N.W. Washington, D.C.
-1 a.m.
N.W.
The heart of my presence. Heart of my presence I feel within me. Heart of my presence heals all, sets them free. The H.E. The heart of my presence is pure, dazzling white. The heart of my presence is love's flame so bright. The heart of my presence illumines, gives peace. The heart of my presence is love's holy feast. The heart of my presence releases its power. The heart of my presence rules me every hour. The heart of my presence is joy, oh so great. The heart of my presence is God's perfect state. The heart of my presence now pours forth its rays. The heart of my presence sings through me its praise. The heart of my presence, my altar of love. The heart of my presence, my source up above. The heart of my presence projects forth its flame. The heart of my presence is my heart. I am. Chinera. The Divine Director's Discourse at Sindelar's class. It is tea of your hearts, O beloved students. There is coming the light in its fullness, that lighteth every man that cometh into the world. You who have so earnestly been reaching out to your great I Am presence, the source of all light, love, and intelligence of everyone anywhere in the universe, have found peace and rest in action. Without action, O precious ones, there would come disintegration. So in your reaching forth, remember that you are not just reaching alone for yourselves, oh, far from it, but to bless the earth and all mankind therein. For in consciousness there is no expression. In feeling there is no expression. In energy there is no expression. In substance there is no expression without use. So you see the oneness of all things, when correctly understood, will bring to you a sense of freedom, a sense of your responsibility to each other, until not a single one will wish to have or feel a single discordant thing. Because they will know that they are affecting all others, at least in their environment, at least to some extent.
Therefore, thinking of the other individual's happiness, they will not allow a thing to pass through their feeling that would bring unhappiness to others.
Is that not a beautiful thought? Is it not a beautiful truth to realize one's own responsibility to his fellow assistants, also to their environment, and, for instance, to your city? You want your city to become beautiful, perfect, and peopled with those individuals who will manifest divine justice.
Then, how are you to achieve that?
In your individual activity, in your city, in your groups which are so magnificent. By calling your mighty I Am presence into action as you are doing in this group. Dear ones, the achievement through the issuing of these decrees throughout America is one of the most transcendent things in the history of the earth. I say this not to pat you on the back, but that you may feel the glory of your earnest achievement. For one day, not so far distant, you will see the outer manifesting activity of what your decrees have set into action in the mental and feeling world of mankind. Oh, be patient, precious ones, in dissolving and consuming all of the old momentum. Fortunately, you do not see that which has been built up through inharmony and discordant thought and feeling. One must be patient until all that becomes dissolved. But as you call your presence into action, aside from your use of the violet consuming flame, this all naturally takes place. It becomes like a revolving wheel, until finally there is carried out of your world, dissolved and consumed, every undesirable thing. That is why I say to you in our heart-to-heart talk tonight, do not be impatient if your achievement has not been all you wish so far, but remember all of the centuries when you did not understand this presence. Then, if you clear your world in a few weeks, a few months, or even a few years, is it not worth it? Remember, we who have gone the way unto that great perfection, where we no longer hear tell even of such a thing as imperfection, except when we contact the world of human creations.
We know all that you require. We know all you have to go through, and we also know that no human being ever did or ever will achieve freedom, except by his own conscious effort.
Now today, in the understanding of your mighty I Am presence, the greatest source in the universe of love, wisdom, power, and directing intelligence, you have at hand a means by which you may attain in a few weeks or a few months what would have taken you perhaps 2 or 3 embodiments to accomplish, in the absence of the understanding of that great presence.
Therefore, have you not everything in the world to be encouraged about?
The individual who will stand serene, calm, and poised in his own self-control, in the acknowledgement of his presence, will have no question in his mind of his certain achievement.
Beloved ones, just look.
Today, you have the assistance of the beloved messengers and of each other, when in times past there was no such thing as that. Every individual stood alone, absolutely alone in his attainment. Today, you have the love, the cooperation, and the decreeing for your freedom, your supply, your ascension. As the messengers have said to you, great is the privilege of issuing these decrees in great groups in this manner. For then, if you have 4, 6, or 800 people, you have 4, 6, or 800 times your own earnest call, a thing that has never been permitted on the face of the earth before. You only have it now because of the great cosmic light, which is rushing into action in the earth, for that is the only thing that has made this possible. I assert to you again, never in the history of the earth has mankind had such great assistance. So never let your human self, which has held sway so long, cause you to feel one moment's discouragement, or feel you are not attaining all that your heart desires. When you reverse the activity from within out instead of without in, then you find a raising, and consuming all that is undesirable. As you call this great presence into action, you find suddenly all of this undesirable accumulation is gone. Then you feel the clearness, the alertness, and the glory which words do not describe, but which the feeling knows in its great calm serenity and perfection which it has reached. You today are reaching that perfection so rapidly from within out, because that is the only permanent means of achievement and attainment that you can have, which will stabilize you.
The human is never dependable. You all know that.
But today, when so much of the human is being set aside, and you feel the greater calmness, serenity, peace, and rest within you, then you know that is your signal to go on, and on, until one day the joy just expands from within the light within your heart. Until no longer is there a single feeling within you of anything but gratitude and love to the great presence which gives you life. Dear, dear ones, think of it. The life that flows through your being, the great source of all perfection. Only by your power of qualification has it not produced the completeness of perfection in, through, and for you. Now, when we have an opportunity to talk to you in this manner, just like a home heart-to-heart talk, will you not believe me when I say to you that the most important thing in your whole experience is to keep your feelings harmonized, that the power, the energy, the intelligence of the presence can flow in, through, and out into your world to do the things required? Because without that, you only have a fragmentary part of this activity. Your power of qualification is so great. It has to act.
The energy must take on the quality you give it by your feelings. Now, let us not just hear these words, but let us live them. Do not go on, precious ones, believing that you still can find a loophole for allowing inharmony to act in your feelings and have the results you desire. You cannot do it, but if you will take your firm, determined stand to cease allowing inharmony to register in you, then the presence will quickly send its power through to flood your world with the perfection which it is. Your higher mental body, precious ones, knows everything you require. It is not an imaginary thing. It is a great reality, a form as tangible as you are, but it cannot overrule your free will. Only as the great cosmic law to some degree has permitted it, but not sufficiently yet to enable it to act, except within a few, is the law by which you have created all the discord allowed to be put aside. We use this opportunity to again and again strengthen, encourage, and let you know that we stand ready at all times to give you the assistance which the great cosmic law has provided at this time, or enabled to be given. Will you not take advantage of it? Now, do not be frightened when I say this, but the great cosmic law is not always going to permit this. In a few years, I may not say to you just how many, the great cosmic wheel will have turned to a point where again such tremendous assistance cannot be given in exactly this manner. Therefore, I urge you, precious ones, and all everywhere, who are interested in this inner truth which Saint Germain has brought forth, to take advantage of it now in its fullness at this time. When you have almost limitless assistance within your reach, when you can do within a few weeks what might afterwards take you years to accomplish. Tonight, I want you to know that never have you had so great a privilege. Many of you have had the evidence. In fact, thousands and thousands of students have had such marvelous evidence of the power of the presence to act in their life stream that they no longer question a single moment its full power to act. So long as they can harmonize themselves sufficiently to let its power and energy flow forth unqualified by any discordant feeling within them. Tonight, remember again, you must use your violet-consuming flame, even when you are still, when your feeling is harmonious, because of the constant raising to the surface of the old discordant thing to be dissolved and consumed. Dear hearts, do not ever get tired of doing these things that give you such eternal freedom. You get weary at your daily labors to feed and clothe yourselves, do you not? Yet you get up the next day and go on again at the same old process. Now you have an opportunity in the acknowledgement of your presence to set your selves forever free from all limitations, from all outer struggle of gaining a livelihood through the sweat of the brow, a thing that was never intended in God's kingdom. Oh, for that day when the law permits us to show you how, with the turn of the hand, everything you require for use can be released then and there. Yet mankind has brought itself into a state where individuals struggle, and go through such unhappiness for clothing, shelter, and comfort. Yet all is obtainable from the very atmosphere about you. When I say that, I mean the octaves above where all perfection is. It only requires a certain activity to lower it into your visibility and use. Because the universe is filled with the substance from which all form is produced, whether it is your machinery, whether it is your trees, whether it is your bodies, or whatever form comes into being. That substance fills the universe and only requires an intelligence to bring it into a definite focus, qualify it, and give it the picture that it must fulfill for it to do so. Is it not a simple process? I assure you it is, but because of mankind's thought and feeling, they have made it so seemingly difficult. I want to congratulate our beloved brother and sister, Mr. and Mrs. Sindelar, in the beautiful, loving, wondrous work they have done in the magazine under such great difficulty. May I say it has been wonderful training, and I congratulate you, my brother, with all my heart. Out of it will come a great, great, great blessing to you.
Oh, never weary, my loved ones, of serving the light. For when the light turns about and begins, you rejoice at those wonderful days in which you served the light. I say this to all of you, you blessed ones who earnestly seek to serve the light. Oh, dear ones, when that is reversed and the light from within you, from this great presence, begins to turn about and serve you, then will you know the glory and the power of those wondrous days you spent in your earnest endeavor to serve the light. Oh, that ye may have the feeling that goes forth from my heart tonight as I speak these words to you. It must reach within your feelings and remain there. Let me repeat again. In your earnest endeavor to serve the light, it means that one day the great light will reverse that activity and begin to serve you. Then the gates of eternal freedom open wide, and you are free from all struggle of any kind. Precious ones, how little yet you realize what your radiation is to those about you. That radiation is as tangible to the feeling of the other individual, if they understood how to read it, as your written word is to each other. Therefore, the importance of self-control and harmony within your feelings is so great. So do not unknowingly send out a feeling which will disturb someone else and cause them to lose their equilibrium for the moment. Do you not see how great is your responsibility to your fellow being? It is so very vital. We are responsible for the vibratory action that goes out through our feeling, and its radiation is very tangible. Do you wonder, precious ones, sometimes when people call to us so earnestly, and yet their feeling is such a seething vortex of irritation and disturbance that we could not get near? I marvel that mankind or the students do not realize this more than they do today, after all the earnest efforts of the messengers. Dear hearts, it is not in criticism or condemnation of anybody, but it is a law of your being, and if you allow those things to take command of you, then you are responsible, and you are delaying your progress. I will not say how long. That is why tonight, I take this opportunity to again prompt you to stand guard over your world, over your feeling, which is the powerhouse of your world, and compel it to be harmonious and remain so. Do you ever think that it is not outer things that irritate and disturb you? It is just your feelings. The human likes to pick upon one thing or another as an excuse for irritation and disturbance. It is just an excuse, but the cause, dear hearts, please believe me when I tell you that the cause of everything is within you. If love from the presence is poured out everywhere, then you will meet that love coming back from everyone else to you. But if someday you are pouring out that love and the same thing does not come back, well, do not be discouraged about it. That will not be your fault, but continue to pour out love just the same. Then one day, will you find never anything coming back to you, but that great loving presence from everywhere. You know the statement that you used to use, I am here, I am there, I am the great God presence acting everywhere. That is what we want to feel coming to us from everywhere, the great love of the presence, which must and does act through every human being who will let it through, every form that will give it the chance. Tonight, O beloved ones, there shall be an anchored within your feeling world, this balance of self-control. You think you love each other. Do you think I am old-fashioned if I say to you, we love you so much more than you could possibly yet love us or each other? That is what comes in the freedom from human creation. You see, it is only the pressure of human creation which makes the individual unable to register and have the full feeling and the full power of the presence acting. When you use the violet consuming flame and call the power of the presence into action, remember that your determination is the outer activity of the inner will, which is the presence. Therefore, at first it requires determination to stand your ground against your own human creation, that the power of the presence may go forth unqualified longer and dissolve and consume all the undesirable creation. Oh, dear ones, please do not be so concerned about the other fellow. Remember, when someone does something you do not like, he still has an I am presence. Turn him over to his own I am presence and say, here, mighty I am presence, you take care of this fellow down here. and you will have relief and release. You will not let a feeling go out from you that will retard your expansion of the light. This is the tragedy, dear hearts, of irritation and disturbance in the feeling. It is but retarding your own feeling and progress, and the expansion of your own light. Do you not see that is the whole of it? Oh, it does not matter what someone else does.
It does not matter.
Keep your feelings harmonized, that the unqualified can go forth to you and into your world to perform the required service. It is magnificent beyond all words, simple and within the reach of every one, but so magnificent. Tonight, does it sound presumptuous upon my part to say, just to look you right in the eye and say to you from my heart, while the messenger has been giving you my words, there is anchored within the heart of every one of you my ray of light, of love, and of substance. I want to congratulate our beloved messenger, Mrs. Ballard, for the marvelous idea she recently conceived of qualifying every one of the students with the Ascended Master's substance, which the student could no longer requalify. Is that not a marvelous thing? Again, do you not see, precious ones, how step by step is released the fullness of the understanding of the things required, which gives you your dominion? From what? From your human self and its creation, because that is all that is necessary. You do not have to worry about the other fellow. Tonight, I feel so close to you that I almost delight in using your own language and words to speak to you, that you may fully comprehend and feel this closeness. We, as ascended beings, we are not so untouchable, and please do not feel that. We just love to be of service to you. Will you not always feel that? When the pressure seems a little too heavy, say, "Beloved ones of the light, I need help." It will always come. Once you know that your love and gratitude to your mighty I Am presence is the open door to the treasure house of the universe, to all love, light, and justice, never can any injustice. Justice be done you. In this day, when so many of mankind are feeling and preaching injustice, when you understand your presence, never can any injustice ever act to you. The presence is the only thing in the world that can prevent injustice being done to you individually, to your city, to your nation. Divine justice is a law of life, and when one knows his mighty I Am presence and earnestly, continuously calls it into action, he will one day find the full power of divine justice acting within him or her or each one's world. Oh, dear ones, understand the simplicity of this great law and set it into action. Then stand by it until the fullness of its power produces the results you require. That is what you want to do. May I, in closing, congratulate you on the great love that you have poured forth, and for the love which you have poured forth to these precious messengers. No matter what they have had to confront, the inharmony or whatever has been, still they go on pouring out only the great love of the presence, for they know so well what it means to you. No matter how great the pressure has been, nothing has been able to change it. I congratulate them, even as my beloved brother Saint Germain has congratulated them, on 1 or 2 instances.
So do I tonight congratulate them on their ability to stand untouched by the inharmony about them and pour forth the love which sustains and holds individuals from destruction.
I could point out to you conditions that would give you such joy, wherein they have stood unmoved, untouched by inharmony of which they were aware, and yet the individual's own destruction has been prevented by it. So, dear ones, never grow weary of loving and kindness. Our beloved Harry Rogers' motto is a wonderful thing. Be kind, be grateful, be reverent, be humble. Dear hearts, it is the most wonderful thing in the universe. I wish I might show you records we have, for in this particular instance we have kept records, not complete but nearly so, of the effect of the kindness of mankind to each other. How a kind word or a hand laid upon the shoulder of another will sometimes give encouragement and strength that will sustain that one indefinitely. Never withhold a sudden impulse to give a kind word, or place your hand on the back, whether it be a man or a woman. Human opinion, in its great falsity, thinks that if an individual, a man, lay his hand on a woman's shoulder in kindness, that it could be misconstrued. Oh, dear hearts, our beloved messengers here have stood forth before the world, and if they feel the impulse to put their arms around a man or woman to give encouragement, they do it.
No human being dares misinterpret it. That is the way mankind should be.
So, dear ones, with all the love of our hearts, and with your love to your presence and us, we will all win the eternal victory quickly.
Tonight has been a wonderful time, a wonderful hour of rejoicing. For not only just we who are here, but to the beloved students throughout the city has this radiance gone forth tonight, doing its perfect work.
My good brother Charles, was not your call answered?
We never fail to hear. I congratulate all the students everywhere for their assistance in decreeing and bringing forth the new press. We shall bless that new press tonight, and do you know that even the substance of the press can be charged with intelligence to do many wonderful things? As I said, if my intuitive powers serve me correctly, many things will be done with it. Again, may I congratulate you, my beloved brother, on your steadfastness, your willingness, your tireless work.
From now on, you will enter into greater ease, comfort, and perfection, in that great light and perfection which is surging forth so earnestly from within you.
Please convey my love and blessings to those two blessed young men who have been so steadfast in your assistance. It is wonderful, dear hearts, to work with a thing that so easily produces perfection. But to work with a thing and produce perfection which is beyond its ordinary capacity is quite another thing. So, we want to give the greatest encouragement. And remember, this is the third time I repeat these words to you tonight. Remember, dear hearts. In your great desire to serve the light, one day the light reverses that and says, "Now I shall serve you," a most wonderful thing. Will you not all buckle on your armor, continue to serve the light, until that day the light says, "Now I shall take my turn and serve you"? I thank you.
Affirmation.
Mighty I Am Presence. Charge my entire being and world and all I contact forever with the ecstasy of thy heart, in full ascended Master's consciousness, and keep it the only acting presence within me at all times. This temple is thy temple, O glorious great I Am. This temple is thy temple, the holy unfed flame. This temple is thy temple, all crystal blazing bright. This temple is thy temple, filled with the cosmic light. This temple is thy temple, my victory is made sure. This temple is thy temple supreme, at last all pure. This temple is thy temple, of glorious blessed song. This temple is thy temple now, and the whole day long. This temple is thy temple, O pure, unselfish love. This temple is thy temple, and rises now above. This temple is thy temple, all master by thy might. This temple is thy temple, I enter thy great height. The God Meru's Talk at the Rogers Class, January 21st, 1937. Ye children of the light, in your song tonight, acknowledging the freedom of America, you brought forth the release of a great cosmic power. As my focus of activity is in South America, so do I also join in the freedom of the Americas and the world. Children of the light, be forever certain and reminded by the great host of ascended masters of the majestic privilege you have in rendering a service to the great mass, unknown in the history of mankind. A few have had this privilege, but you today are children of the light, of the many civilizations in which you have lived, sometimes higher, sometimes not so high. Yet in this embodiment, you enter into the culmination, the balancing, of that which your inner light has sought in every embodiment. Tonight, there is one who is in your city from South America, whom I have been watching for some time. As you may have observed, we never lose an opportunity to watch the expansion of the light in every one of the beloved children of the light, until the light in each one expands to the point where we may give assistance to quicken it into the fullness of its mighty glory, that the individual may become a blazing sun of light wherever he moves.
Then we may envelop such an one and pour forth a mighty radiance. Precious ones of the light, oh, that you might fully, quickly realize that you, even in the present state of the expansion of your light, can become a blazing sun of light wherever you move. I say to our blessed children of the light who are soon to go to Norway, we thank you for carrying the light there. Remember, you are rendering a transcendent service. We watch the blessed ones going here and there, and those who stand so loyally to this instruction which Saint Germain has brought forth.
Oh, how great will be that blessing to them!
Oh, how quickly everything comes into divine order and is so sustained. Watch, be alert, O precious children of the light. Silence every discord and inharmony that attempts to find expression in your world, either through yourself or outside. Then you will find
Great calm, peace, and serenity fill your world, filling your heart, until, when you call, there will quickly come the answer from the presence.
the messengers have pleaded with you for harmony, because there is the imperative need of harmony and stillness in your feelings. Once you realize this, you will find that in the stillness there will come always, quickly and clearly, the answer required. It cannot fail. Oh, beloved ones! Do you think that your presence, the governor of the universe, could fail? Do you not see how incredible such a thing would be, and that it is only the human concept which longer prevents you from entering quickly into the freedom which the presence is? Believe, O precious ones, the experiences of this good brother on Mount Shasta, where the light descended, rendering a service so great. There is not one in this room, and this is no exaggeration, there is not one in this room through whom that same service might not be rendered. I tell you, precious ones, your presence is not limited to its activity in and through you, except by your feeling world. If you will feel the full authority and power of your presence, and then be just so still, you will quickly find that this presence is a never-failing release of all that is required. The happiness within your feeling is the great golden key which the light of your being turns, and the door opens into your freedom. In the presence is all you require, not yet possibly in outer manifested form, but the pattern or idea, the intelligence for its perfect manifestation in. Any required form is there, within the conscious acceptance of your presence in your feeling world. We wish all might feel this so clearly, so freely. Now, during the remainder of the time that I am speaking to you, because we always endeavor to render at least one service during a given period, will you not feel with me everything within your being that has bound or limited you? Let go. I say, all human creation that has limited or bound these children of light, let go. All human creation that has limited or bound these children of light, let go now, and be replaced by the full power and perfection of their mighty I Am presence, in full power and action. We accept this in the full power of its activity, for every blessed one, and qualify it to be eternally sustained in this mighty activity. Please, in your mental and feeling world, accept that your human creation is fully silenced. From each great focus in the atmosphere of Earth, there are being released mighty currents of energy to help all individuals set themselves free. One comes from that mighty ancient focus in South America, the great province of Peru, which once knew such great light in its outward expression. The great light, O beloved ones, is still there, and ere long there will stream forth 3 great rivers of light. The world, in spite of its appearance, is being bathed in the glory of God, the mighty I Am presence, and ere long hundreds of thousands will know their mighty I Am presence. In Norway, we once met many of those great beings of light, whose province it is to assist the children of earth. We, seeing that this knowledge of the I Am is reaching so near our great focus, on sea held there, I take this opportunity to thank those who will go forth and expand it there. In their quiet of the few past months, I want them to know it has been for the building up of energy to go forth in this service. May this blessed Trinity rejoice.
I wish tonight that I might talk heart to heart with each one of you and cause you to feel my heart throb in that which I know is being quickened into action for you. As beloved Saint Germain's joy has been so great recently, so too are we feeling and pouring out to you our joy, that you have the simplicity of expression which brings such majestic action. In the simple words, the power of your attention. Do you not see, O precious ones, that it is the simplicity of thought and expression which brings the great release of the powers of freedom? Only in the complications of expression is the truth so often hidden. Ever shall Saint Germain be blessed for bringing this knowledge of the mighty I Am presence forth in such simple language that all may understand and apply it. So we are blessing him as greatly as you are for that great, great service he has rendered. You know sometimes you are not always obedient. Sometimes we are not in this way. Saint Germain had asked that we refrain from commanding him. Chananda said last night to Saint Germain, "I am sorry to disappoint you, but I have got to do it." So you see, we too are sometime disobedient, but we too call on the law of forgiveness and try to do better the next time. So will you not feel with us such great joy and happiness? Could we conceive of anything that would give us such great happiness as to see the expansion of your light and the freedom that awaits you so near at hand? It is no longer a long, drawn-out activity. Just forget that part of it. It is not long anymore. Just rejoice, with so great a rejoicing, in every day calling the power of your mighty presence into action to cleanse, to purify your mind, body, world, and your homes. Oh, those homes. Oh, what a feeling. What a feeling is in that word, home. Every home in the world and outer manifestation should be a sacred altar of God in action. What a world, what a heaven on earth that would be. Oh, for that day. Do not feel me critical when I say this, but oh, for that day when once again mankind, notice this expression, is unpiled from on top of each other. Then individuals will not worry whether their mighty I Am presence is in someone else's apartment. However, I would advise all not to worry about that, even in the present state. Let the presence take care of it. You may be sure the mighty I Am presence is quite able to take care of itself. We see from that great field of activity the vicinity of Lake Titicaca, from which one day shall be released again its great powers. Many of you will see and know this of which I speak. Remember that not so far from this great focus of light, there was one of the greatest destructive activities on the earth. There are caves in our beloved Andes where one day there was broken up the greatest focus of darkness on the earth. In that age, the final battle was won between the light and darkness. The light, of course, always wins, and so it will again in your beloved America. In our beloved America. In your song tonight, you touched deeply within my heart. Hence, great is my joy to have been present with you and rendered a service which it is my privilege to give. May I remind you, just at this point, how great is this uplifting activity, how great is your happiness when you have rendered some service to each other out here in your world of action. Then, can you just imagine for a moment our great joy when we find an opportunity, sometimes even to us wholly unexpected, to render a service, sometimes very far-reaching. Tonight, it is far-reaching, from the Andes to the Sierras. Does that sound like a long distance? Well, it is not. That is the human concept which says so. To us who have forgotten, so far as our own activity is concerned, that there is time and space, is it any wonder we feel there is no distance? It is possible for everyone to become so conscious of his mighty I Am presence that he has no cognizance of time and space. To feel it, or to be so imbued with this feeling, that you do the activities of the day as though it were an hour or perhaps a few minutes, is joy unspeakable. You know how often in your contemplation of the presence, 1, 2, or 3 hours pass, and it seems but a few minutes? That is a slight intimation to you of what it really means to transcend time and space. The great cosmic law is now permitting this to be done more and more for the children of Earth. Thus it is hastening, quickening powerfully your own call for the freedom of all mankind. You who are privileged to know your mighty I Am presence in this way will find yourselves 1,000-petaled lotus, its thousand rays reaching out everywhere to bless, to heal, to prosper, and enlighten.
Our precious lotus.
We thank and bless her for her ceaseless service and her great happiness in that service.
I shall for one stand by and see that she never lacks for energy and strength.
Your love is oh so great in its outpouring to her, and I thank you with deepest gratitude. Notice, dear hearts, how the great earnest call to the mighty I Am presence dissolves and clears away all mists of human creation. A great number of the earnest I Am students are fast surging forward into its great peace at first. Then the feeling of their mastery over their worlds. Then the feeling of a great love and kindliness pouring out to all mankind, which opens every door before them into whatever activity is required. Oh, precious ones, do you not see that those who have felt jealous and inharmonious just fade out of the light, blaming others, when only within themselves is the fault? Oh, precious ones, so many of these are precious ones, whose light is very great. But when they become caught in that snare of jealousy, criticism, or condemnation, their own blessed door just closes temporarily, and they feel alone in the world. I, with you tonight, call to the mighty I Am presence of each one of those precious ones, who have, for one reason or another, allowed themselves to feel unkind to the messengers, or critical. Mighty I Am presence, dissolve once and forever every human creation, cause and effect, and set those blessed ones free in the light, that they may have the freedom which is so near them. If only mankind and the precious students could see that the moment a discordant feeling stirs within them, it is just the sinister human creation which would bind them longer in their limitations and distress. Oh, that all might understand this, and be so firm in their refusal to speak or accept from others any inharmonious expression. Then their worlds would quickly be at peace, filled with the glory of the presence and the abundance of every good thing they require for use in the service of the light. The god Tabor, the god Himalaya, and the god from the Swiss Alps join me in pouring forth tonight a fourfold activity for your blessing, for your freedom. May I ask you to accept the fullness of it to go forth and do its perfect work for you? Affirmation. Mighty I Am presence. Great host of ascended masters and great cosmic beings. Annihilate all fear, doubt, grief, and hate entities within and around all mankind, the earth and its atmosphere, forever, and replace them by the perfection of the ascended masters, eternally sustained and self-expanding. Our use of words. In this ascended master instruction of the mighty I Am presence, the word human is always used synonymously with the word discordant, as distinguished from the perfection of divinity. When the ascended master says annihilate or blast, the student and readers should realize that you cannot annihilate or blast God or God's activities from the universe or anything that is truly of God. Nothing can be consumed, annihilated, or blasted but human creation, and that needs to be. Please remember, no one can annihilate or blast God. Whenever the use of those words occurs in our decrees, the students and readers cannot possibly misunderstand this work when they know that we say in our decrees, Mighty I Am presence and great host of ascended masters, come forth and annihilate or blast all destructive forces act. Ing within any channel. If the individual has any intelligence at all, he will see that we call to the mighty I Am presence, which is the Godhead, and the ascended masters to do the annihilating or blasting. Because we know that God is the only doer of any constructive action. The only thing that God or the ascended master could do would be to annihilate or blast the discord and impure qualities that need to be annihilated and blasted. The real action of the law that takes place is that the mighty I Am presence, or the ascended masters, project the sacred flame of divine love, which is the highest rate of vibration in the universe, into the condition that is destructive. This is the most powerful use of the pure electronic force, and as it passes through any person, place, condition, or thing, simply purifies it by increasing the rate of vibration to the point where no discord can any longer exist.
We have said repeatedly, the Ascended Masters never use a destructive force, and neither does the mighty I Am Presence, which is God, good, in action. Neither do we ever use a destructive force. Therefore, any other interpretation of this magnificent Ascended Master instruction, which is freedom for all mankind, is vicious, willful, intentional distortion of the mighty law of the I Am Presence, which is setting mankind free from just such viciousness that has bound human beings throughout the centuries. We say to all who try to distort, misinterpret, or interfere with this work, you have no power. And your own viciousness shall return upon you and annihilate itself. Regarding pledges and oaths, ear blessed ones everywhere who want the light of God and your eternal freedom in that light. Realize always that God will never bind you, and Lumen has no right to and no power to unless you let it.
Therefore, if you have given oaths and pledges and various activities in the years past before you became aware of this mighty I Am Presence and the Ascended Masters, call your presence into action to cut you free from everything that binds or limits or that would seek to hold you in its clutches in any way.
All such activities are but the bondage of fear, and they keep their hold upon the people because fear is the weapon of the sinister force.
When you become aware of your mighty I Am Presence, there is nothing in this universe to fear or that can bind or disturb you, unless you accept it. If you do, then you give it your life energy by which to live and torment you.
This mighty Ascended Master instruction of the I Am has come forth from the octave of light above the earth to set you free, and there is no person, place, condition, or thing that can bind or limit you, if you take your stand with your mighty I Am Presence in the light. This is why we urge all the students to dare to be free in the full conscious use of all the power of love and light from your presence and the Ascended Masters, knowing that God, the mighty I Am Presence in you, is your certain victory. There is nothing in the outer activity of the world that can bind or disturb you in any way, unless you fear. If you fear, you are not loving your God, the source and supply of your life, which is the mighty I Am Presence. If you will call your presence into action to annihilate all fear and limitation of every kind in you and your world, and blast its cause and effect, you will find that you can quickly rise out of all feeling of fear and manifest the victory of the light of God within you. Many occult schools and activities of the past used oaths during several previous cycles, but it caused such fear in the people that the sinister force got its clutches on them in that way. At that time, the great cosmic law did not permit this knowledge of the I Am to be given outside of the retreats. Since the release of the cosmic light, which has touched the Earth since 1929 in several waves, more of which are coming soon, the people everywhere must be offered the opportunity now to reach up and accept this light from the Ascended Master's octave, if they will. It is because of the great cosmic law that the old occult activities of the last cycle have been set aside for the Earth permanently. This means more than you can possibly realize at the present time, and it does not matter what any human being or all put together think about it. The great cosmic law does not ask human beings permission to run a solar system. We have told you and the world the mighty truth of the Ascended Masters, and we have their full power and authority back of us for all we say. Therefore, he who knows his mighty I Am Presence and dares to abide therein is free in his being and world forever. Blessed ones everywhere who struggle in the outer activities of the world, dare to take your freedom in this mighty light of the mighty I Am Presence, and which the Ascended Masters offer you so lovingly, so graciously, so freely for your acceptance. Take your freedom, blessed precious ones of the light, and be the happiness that is your birthright forever. Life does not limit you. Love does not limit you. Energy does not limit you. Substance does not limit you. Then why allow anyone's human consciousness to limit you in any way by oaths or anything else? You have free will.
You must use it. When you will to stand with your mighty I Am presence 100% and harmonize your feelings, you are free.
Dare to be free. Dare to be strong.
Dare to be divine, and then manifest it in everything in your being and world.
You are the only authority in your world forever. Remember that always. Affirmation. My darling, I am presence.
See that every thought, feeling, word, and act that goes forth from me this day is clothed with the FLAME of divine love from your heart and the ascended master substance, and is kept eternally sustained and self-expanding. In regard to new study groups where the individuals have never contacted this work before, it only takes about 3 meetings to explain what and where the mighty I Am presence is, who the ascended masters are, and why it is necessary to give these decrees now and make the call to the presence for the protection of America and the freedom of mankind. Just as soon as they understand this much, they should be set to work giving the decrees, for the time is so short and the need grows greater hourly for the students of the I Am throughout America and the world to do this.
Each individual's own personal protection depends upon his call to the mighty I Am presence and the ascended masters for the freedom and protection of the light of God that never fails to flood the earth.
That light is the only thing that can stop the activity of the destructive forces in the outer world today. Students do not need to have all the understanding of the rest of this knowledge in order to start giving those decrees. For it is more imperative than ever before that these decrees go forth into the atmosphere of earth, now, in order to give the ascended masters the opening through which to act and release the power needed. To sweep the light in everywhere, to stop the destruction by the vicious forces that are trying to destroy our government and mankind.
After the 3rd meeting, any new student should be able to go through that study group outline and render the assistance to all, which will be his own protection, supply, and freedom.
It does not matter what anyone thinks about this.
We are in an hour of national emergency, and the students can now render the assistance which must be given and given now. If the 3rd episode of Washington's vision is to be avoided in our blessed United States of America,
Our country, the I Am country, the land of the light of God that never fails, the heart and light of the world at this time.
therefore, we say to all students in every group, new and old, as never before, stand. Yield not an inch to any disturbing outer thing, and call with all the intensity of your hearts for the mighty I Am presence, the ascended masters, the legion of light, and the great cosmic beings, to drench the earth with the cosmic light and the substance from the ascended master's octave of life,
That all destructive forces may be blasted from existence forever, and the earth and mankind once again know freedom and peace.
Blessed young America. Get your young people's groups together and work as you have never done in your lives before to give the decrees for the protection of our Constitution of the United States of America, the United States Supreme Court, and the Declaration of Independence. They are the same as the heart of your body and have come forth by the Ascended Master's wisdom to guarantee freedom and protection to the American people. Give your decrees with all the power of your mighty I Am presence and the great host of Ascended Masters, to release whatever amount of cosmic light and power is necessary to blast from existence forever all, and its cause and effect that dares to interfere with the freedom of the American people and the protection of all that guarantees that freedom. America needs you and all the strength and energy you have to call to the great cosmic beings for the release of whatever cosmic power is required to do this, and do it now.
Keep happy, but do not let down for a second in your determination to set America free from the vicious destructive forces that are trying to bring chaos into our blessed land.
Remember 1,000 times a day,
The light of God never fails, and call for the light of God everywhere without limit within the borders of America, and then to flood the earth.
There is assistance for the young people's groups that can be given by those who are somewhere between the ages of 25 and 45, married or unmarried. If this group will encourage the younger ones to come together and help them until they become anchored enough to conduct the activities themselves, they will be rendering a very great assistance to the younger people.
All will then feel more closely drawn together when they come into the large groups for the general or specific decree work.
The reason we ask this is because the young people's groups have a service to give in the incoming age, which is different from that of any of the older groups, but they need to be assisted until they are thoroughly aware of what is needed and know how to give that service.
It is well also for every young people's group to give once at each meeting the following decree for the right educational activities throughout the world. Mighty I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters and great cosmic beings. Come forth in your cosmic power and authority of the unfed flame, the 3x3, and the cosmic light. Annihilate all wrong teaching from all educational channels in America and the world.
Annihilate the cause and effect of all that is not the eternal truth and law of life of the mighty I Am Presence and the Ascended Masters. Release the fullness of the new educational activities and see that all human beings in the future are taught only the eternal truth and law of the mighty I Am Presence and the Ascended Masters. At every meeting, also give the decree for the protection of all activities of aviation, transportation, communication, public utilities, and supply of the necessities of life to all human beings in America and the world. Affirmation. Mighty I Am Presence. Clear my being and world forever of every disturbing person, place, condition, and thing, and replace them by yourself and the Ascended Master's perfection. Keep my being and world drenched forever with the substance from the Ascended Master's octave of life. Future appearances of the messengers. New York City. For information, contact Mrs. Ada Cox Fisher, Suite 311, Hotel Roosevelt, New York City. Engineering Auditorium, 29 West 39th Street. Saturday, April 24th to Tuesday, May 4th, inclusive, 1:30 and 7:30 p.m. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Metropolitan Opera House, Broad and Poplar Streets, Philadelphia. I am Divine Director's request decree to prevent war in Europe. I Am Presence, great host of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic host, great cosmic beings, angels of the blue lightning, and those who wield the sword of blue flame of divine love. Come forth in your full cosmic power and authority of the unfed flame, the 3x3, and the cosmic light everywhere in Europe, and stop forever the onrushing destruction of war in those countries. Blaze forth whatever power of the cosmic light is required to annihilate all activity of war, its cause and effect everywhere from all Europe, mankind, and the world forever. Withdraw and withhold all energy. Money and supply of every kind from all destructive channels, and blaze forth in their place that light. Love and substance from the Ascended Master's octave of life, with the power of 1,000 suns to take possession, produce perfection, and hold your dominion everywhere forever.
We charge this decree with St. Germain's, Jesus' Nadas, and the Divine Director's Ascended Master Consciousness, instantaneous activity and fulfillment, eternally sustained.
We thank thee, thou dost always answer our every decree.
Note: visualize the blue lightning of divine love from the Ascended Master's octave of life flashing forth into the atmosphere, the land, and the bodies of the people everywhere in Europe and the Orient.
Watch it. Consume all shadows and all imperfection everywhere. Then visualize that light as of 1,000 suns descend into those countries and fill them completely within itself, holding possession there forever. The great divine director has said,
Through the call of so many in America today.
the next few
Through the call of so many in America today.
It has made it possible for this blazing of the great cosmic light to enter in the fullness of its power, and to this end we hope for complete freedom. The next few months will tell how much of the cataclysmic activity will be governed.
Unhappy Europe.
Beloved students, will you with us visualize and call forth the mighty cosmic light?
The assistance of the great legion of light, the host of ascended masters and the great cosmic beings, to stay the onrushing destruction there.
Much depends on your call. Europe does not understand how. Europe does not understand how.
The great mass of the people have largely accepted the appearances. Therefore, I shall ask you to give your call for the assistance of your fellow man.
You cannot imagine the assistance you might render. In all the activity of the messengers, we have never once. Affirmation. Affirmation. In all the activity of the messengers, we have never once. Affirmation.
In all the activity of the messengers, we have never once asked this. But tonight I ask it because it is needed.
Affirmation.
Mighty I Am Presence and great host of ascended masters. Make me always listen to every prompting that comes from your heart and see that I obey its direction instantly.
Sizes below can be purchased at the Sindelar Studios.